Good evening, distinguished guests, members of the Bermuda Arts Council, and all the brilliant awardees gathered tonight. Though I cannot be there in person, as the Minister of Tourism, Culture, and Sport, I want to mark this momentous occasion by expressing my appreciation for the inspiring work of these remarkable artists and visionaries. Today we come together to celebrate excellence and dedication within the Bermudian arts community. With immense pride, we acknowledge the contributions and achievements of our 5 distinguished awardees. Firstly, we honor Dr. Edwin M.E. Smith and bandmaster the late David Knight, known affectionately as DK. Both received the Lifetime Achievement Award, a testament to their enduring impact and the depth of their artistic expression. Congratulations, Dr. Smith and DK, for your outstanding contributions. We also celebrate Mr. Dwayne Julian Paynter and Gavin Djata Smith, recipients of the Founders Award. Dwayne and Gavin, your roles in shaping the future of Bermudian arts are truly inspiring. Tonight, we also extend gratitude to Dame Jennifer M. Smith, DBE, as we present her with the Patron Award. Her unwavering support and dedication have significantly enriched our arts community, and this award reflects our collective appreciation for her generous spirit. Last but certainly not least, we are thrilled to bestow the Earl Cameron Award upon Lana Young. Lana, your passion and innovative vision have rightfully earned you this accolade. To all awardees, thank you for your invaluable contributions and for continuing to inspire and lead our community. Your work enhances our cultural landscape and ensures that the arts remain a vibrant part of our national identity. On behalf of the Government of Bermuda, I extend heartfelt congratulations to each of you. We remain committed to supporting and celebrating the arts and recognizing their vital role in our society. Enjoy this evening of recognition and reflection. It is well deserved. Thank you.
This event is a celebration of the vibrant and diverse arts community in Bermuda, which includes visual arts, literature, music, design, and performing arts. It is an opportunity to recognize the outstanding achievements and contributions of Bermudian artists, creators, and patrons who have made significant contributions to our community. Despite being a small island, Bermuda is home to an abundance of talent and creativity. It is deeply gratifying to be able to serve the community by providing a platform for these artists to showcase their work, to encourage their growth and development. I am honored to be in a room full of dreamers, risk takers, and courageous Bermudians who dare to be creative, who dare to be critiqued, and who dare to share. It takes a lot of courage to follow a path less traveled, and I have immense respect for those who do so. Before we get into the awards, I would like to take a moment to talk about the importance of giving others their flowers. As an art teacher and a creative, I have seen firsthand the impact of words of encouragement, whether it is a student's not-so-dog-like looking drawing of a dog, or someone's first solo show at BSOA. Letting others know you see and appreciate their efforts is tremendously important. Giving someone their flowers also encourages them to spread out their bouquet. I'm proud to share that my brother won this year's Masterworks Charm and Prize Award with a portrait of me titled My Colorful Neighbor. I owe this achievement to our family's colorful neighbor, Miss Elizabeth Morris Brown, wife of artist Mr. Sam Morris Brown. They believed in my brother's passion and allowed him to attend Boston University in his preteen years for a college-level summer intensive. This neighborly outpour of kindness is not foreign to us as Bermudians, and it is these gentle pushes that continue to inspire creatives to keep pushing forward. Your attendance shows that you too are a colorful neighbor. Your presence, support, generosity, and the role you play in the awardees' lives have allowed them to be here today. I would like to say that everyone in this room is most deserving of their flowers, and it's apparent as I've seen the flowers from your bouquets spread throughout the community. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the esteemed individuals whose invaluable contributions have enriched our cultural landscape of our community. Lana Young is deserving of recognition for inspiring influence on our local actors, both on and off shore. Gavin Smith has played a significant role in fostering an environment that encourages locals to express their most authentic selves and develop their voices within our community. Dr. Edwin Smith has made an everlasting mark on the community in Bermuda, educating Bermudians on the arts and inspiring them to curate their own stories. Dwayne Paynter has revolutionized the fashion industry in Bermuda by giving Bermudians the vision to tastefully strengthen their seams and participate in sewing our local tapestry. Bandmaster David D.K. Knight is deserving of his recognition for pioneering contribution to music in Bermuda. He was the first Bermudian to have made music published by the Salvation Army, thus having our culture heard globally and composing music that will be heard for generations to come. Finally, we extend our thanks to Dame Jennifer Smith, DBE, for her significant contribution to Bermuda's history and politics, while still supporting the livelihood of the arts and underscoring the importance of its continuation in our community. We invite you to join us as we applaud those who inspire and elevate our collective spirit. Thank you for your continued support and for nurturing the arts in Bermuda. Okay. My list is a little bit different. There was the minister, but next we have someone who I'm very excited to introduce. Next, we will have a performance by Aisha Townsend. Aisha is not only one of Bermuda's best writers, but also an English lecturer at the Bermuda College. She obtained her bachelor's in music composition and a master's in creative writing at Goldsmiths University of London. Aisha has served as a mentor and a coach for the Bermuda National Youth Poetry Slam team through the True Sticks Foundation Youth Poetry Program, Break the Chains. Her work has been published in the Bermudian Magazine, Bermemes, and Bermuda Anthology of Memoir and Creative Nonfiction and Poet Crave Hill Journal of Creative Writing. She has performed as a rapper, poet, and prose writer at various events, such as TEDx Bermuda 2015, the Women of World Poetry Slam in Brooklyn, New York 2016, and the Leroy Fest 2015 and 2016. She is also a member of a band titled Donna. In her writing, Aisha explores queerness through the lens of Black Caribbean experience. She writes of home, hurricanes, Bermudian history, mythology, and folklore. Aisha is a Bermuda Arts Council Repeat Grant awardee for the Rock Retreat Residency in Gibraltar and facilitator with the Creative Writing Residency in Accra, Ghana. Aisha is also my dear elder cousin. When we were younger, she used to push me away all the time. However, today I feel excited to be a part of so many creative circles with her. Although she limits my selfie duration with her to 3 seconds, events like these give me an additional 2 seconds to capture our moment. May you all give a warm welcome to Ms. Townsend.
No selfie tonight. Because here's your people, as in who raised you, as in what morals of what time or what construct constructed you, which parish you grew up in, because where you stay now, and who taught you how to swim on what shore side, what season, what situation. Were you thrown off the dock? Were you weaned with armbands? Whose niece and nephew did you end up dating? Who you talk to now? What bus you used to catch? You ever scratch your name in the back of a backseat with a compass pointing after 3:30? You ever egged the other school bus on Halloween and then duck behind the seat so you didn't got your school shirt dirty? Man, who's your people? I'm acting like parents ask you to speak to grown-ups when you were little. Say good morning. Girl, say hello. Stop acting like you don't remember Aunt so-and-so. Ain't you a Hollis? No, you're a Simmons. You're a Parsons. What Parsons do you spar with? Are you spawned from your past gifts? I know your uncle used to be a locksmith. You're Pearl's son, right? No, you're Earl's boy. No, you're Donna's girl. Your aunt's named Joy, right? Yeah. Your aunt bakes cakes. Yeah. Your aunt does her. Your cousin fixed the brakes on my fixed skirt. When was the last time you slid out? You ever rode your bike off? How much road rash you got? You got spots, Bermuda rot, dandruff shampoo, right? You bathed in it every night. Where you got your fish sandwiches from? You ever had a bee sting? Drank stinging nettle tea? Got a centipede bite? You ever had your birthday shouted out by the captain on Power 95? What you drink? Shivers Ale? Black and Coke? What school you went to? Matter of fact, who are your folks? Your granny says Ton? Your granny works Belco. I know your uncle used to paint roofs. Your daddy used to work at Telco. Who you roll with? Them lot from Ton? Those boys from down east. Or those lot from my country. You know what I'm talking about. No one talks about it, but it's talked about. Which guys you bang with? Which cousin caught your fade at the rubber tree, at the bus stop, at the roundabout? Had your bike stealing in the yard outside your uncle's house? Who's your people? Your parents still together? I think my auntie was in the wedding. Who you went to Harvard Night Smith when you was like 11? You picked your Ganzi app for Boxing Day? For May 24th? For the fight? You ever showing up to cup matches wearing all white? Matter of fact, who's your team? If for real, I'm asking, who's your team? You ever went Europe at the field? How many spizzles you had? How long was your head spinning for? How you make it back to your bed? You ever crashed on the beach? And who you purchased from? Lord, Ace Boy from Upscour? Missions, man, his house is just way too far. And who taught you how to duck breeze down scenic heights, Napton Hill, Barrack Hill? You ever swallow so much salt water you become it for like a minute? You ever been called a sock rock? A dreamer? A water rat? Does the water feel like home to you? Do you remember brushing cake salt off your face? Do you remember stinging your legs with a towel to get excess sand off before getting in your mama's car? Who's your people? As in suss you out? As in litmus tests? It's a query to find each other in a haystack. It's an I see you. How Bermudians can hear our accent in a crowded airport, in a mall in Minnesota, in the middle of a desert 6,000 miles away, because who's your people? As he saying, man, saying, yo, wagwan. What you saying? You're safe? You're cool, cousin, though? You're straight. Who's your people? As in, of which ancestor do you spring from in perennial form? Who keeps showing up in your palms? How many generations can still hold the trait, can still hold trace? We come from everywhere, so who holds your face? Who you look like? Who you sound like? Where you got your tongue from? Are you descendant of Camarca Fego, Bassett, Darrell? Did your great-great dance original gumbears and now you H&A skank, thank? Who's your people? As in, who were they? Who you buried? Who you never knew? Whose bloodline made you? Whose tree did you fall from? Have you harvested your root? Are you the outside child, the firstborn, the bruised fruit? Who's your people? It's a theme in variations. We're of the same, all familiar patterns. We live identical lives over again in routine and ritual, because this is how our people survive. By continuing until the sun burns out. By diving for pearls, tapping trees for palm wine and swallowing rum. From minding onions to selling onions, to frying onions for butter sauce, for Sunday, for bacchanal, for catching that fresh wine at a session you wasn't even supposed to be at, for towing your brethren, for being the third brethren, for laying in the word, for resurrecting as a violet petal in the roadside. Who's your people? Our identifying principle and question, our mnemonic device to remember who we are. Tribe, cluster, dysfunctional family. Look around, we're a dysfunctional family. One of us is always yelling, one of us is always stealing, a bunch of us pretend to curry and 2/3 of us are leaving, but I love us. Strange cousins, arm's length acquaintances, drunk uncle causing a ruckus, a gestational throwback unspooling thread to a generational end. So when I'm asking you who's your people, I'm really just asking about who I am. Thank you, Bermuda Arts Council, for always the continued support, to all the artists, and of course to this country that we are so blessed to make art in.
I'm been in the back with this cheesy smile that I always get when I see Aisha. Okay. Let's take another moment to applaud Aisha's way with words. I would say Aisha's writing style is truly captivating and impressive. It's just a shame that the words she used while we were growing up weren't as warm as the ones in her writing. However, looking back, I realized that her stern reinforcements may have been a way to prepare me for the important roles I would later acquire. Regardless, Aisha's writing has consistently impressed me, and I am grateful for her unique talent that has fostered a sense of community. The Bermuda Arts Council Award ceremony has had a long and impressive history that dates back to 1987. It began with the Lifetime Achievement Award in 1987, sorry. It began with the Lifetime Achievement Award, and then 2001, the Founders Award was introduced. Later, the Patron Award was added, and in 2019, the Earl Cameron Award was included. At this moment, I would like to extend an invitation to Dr. Sajni Talaram, the Deputy Chair, and Jasmine Lee, Council Member, to present the awards. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
We are most delighted to be here together as a community with all of the fabric that is woven together of our lives, the way that we're all connected one to another. It's matchless, truly. Our first award of the evening is the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is presented to persons who are respected in their art form and who have created a significant body of original work that is representative of the Bermudian spirit. We invite Dr. Edwin M.E. Smith to the stage.
When Dr. Edwin M.E. Smith was just 6 years old, he knew two things. He would be an artist and he would be an art teacher. As Bermuda well knows, he has achieved both ambitions. Through his empathetic teaching and mentoring skills during his years at the Bermuda Institute, and now at the Bermuda College, he has encouraged his students to grow and to be artistically courageous. But, as he says, he could never just be an educator. If I could not teach, I would still be an artist. I'm an artist through and through. What he has achieved up to this point more than justifies his conviction. Fittingly, he receives tonight the Lifetime Award for his rich body of original work in mixed media, quintessentially Bermudian in spirit. Some of his creations, including his monumental duct tape Transients, which he describes as a novel work, have been selected for the Bermuda Biennial 8 times. Another work he is most proud of is acrylic and charcoal Seized Control, Heading Home, depicting a maritime moment from 18th century Bermuda. He has also published 2 art books, the innovative monochromatic image making and the Bermudian artist, and the popular Paw Paw Bermuda, for which he received the Daniel Award, given by the Atlantic Publishing House. It includes contributions from his wife, Shirley, and their 2 sons, Stephen and McCrae, also artists, with whom he has shared several exhibitions. Ed's journey has not been an arrow straight trajectory, however. At times, he has moved in different directions. While at Ord School, his teacher, Miss Olga Simons, certainly encouraged his art, making him feel it was as important a subject as any other in primary school. After receiving a prize for one of his works she placed in an art exhibition, he felt validated. However, although after he joined the Bermuda Institute, he was immediately recognized as a class artist, he never formally studied art. Nor did he study art when he went to the West Indies College, now Northern Caribbean University, there being no art program. Instead, his major was English. It was only after graduating he made up for it, attending from 1983 to 85 Andrews University in Michigan to take his first master's in art and education. As he puts it, I had a full blowout with art there, while adding the education to it. The education qualification not only fulfilled a childhood ambition, it was also practical. It meant he could come back to Bermuda and be employed while still creative. It also meant he could create art without being driven by its commercial potential. Accepting a teaching position at his alma mater, the Bermuda Institute, he taught art to both primary and high school students. In 1991 came another change of direction. He applied to the Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia to do his second master's, this time in graphic design. He was not only accepted, but also offered the Malcolm Probst Fellowship to finance his studies. So impressed were they by his fine arts portfolio. This was unheard of, since a graphic design portfolio was an expected submission for the fellowship. But the former clear division between fine art and what was formerly known as commercial art is breaking down. As my former colleague Dr. Charles Zuhl often said, an artist is a good craftsman, and a good craftsman is a good artist, he says. He is happy the former barriers are disappearing, and this is typical of his open-minded, progressive philosophy, key to his art as well as his teaching. Returning to Bermuda in 1993, he became a graphic designer at the Bank of Butterfield, Wilson's Associates, and finally, senior graphic designer at Island Press. In 1998, he returned to teaching by joining the Bermuda College, where he is now professor in art and design. In 2008, he took a sabbatical to study for his PhD at the Texas Tech University. He had always been interested in Bermudian art, being influenced early on by the photographs of Richard Saunders and Graham Outerbridge. He had also been inspired by past and contemporary social realities, rather than by pastoral landscapes geared for the tourist market. He decided to focus on a 50-year period in Bermuda art, beginning with the politically seminal year 1959, which inspired Robert Barrett's Theater Boycott and Charles Lloyd Tucker's Storm in a Teacup.
I am interested in social critique and social commentary. We had a past artist in Bermuda, Robert Barrett, who said, "No one is painting how the people feel." And that has been a trigger, or at least a motivation for me to study what are local artists doing. And so in my work, I've not only studied the works of other Bermudian artists, but I say for me, whatever I create, what am I actually saying to a future generation? My work is a first-person account, and I must be able to let them know that this person who exists at this time was feeling these things or was concerned about these issues.
Once he completed his dissertation in 2012, he used his research as a resource to create 21 monochromatic paintings he included in Image Making and the Bermudian Artist. This art book about art is groundbreaking. Drawing on our art history, it focuses on how iconic images in Bermudian art can be reused in different media and context to new significance. As an artist, he sees his work as an ongoing exploration of identity and space. And he sees himself as an image maker, thoughtful and not content, knowing that his work is a first-hand account of today, important for the audiences of tomorrow.
I want to say to the council chair, Shanna Hollis, and to the members of the council, that I am honored to be considered and to be selected to be a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. My first thought when I received the notification was that I'm not old enough, I haven't done enough. There's so much in me that I want to do that I haven't done yet and still plan to do. And I felt that I wasn't worthy, and I was told by Shanna personally that the award is not necessarily for someone who's lived a long life, but just to let the recipient know that the consul regards them as somebody who has done a lot, and that the consul appreciates them and sees value in their work. And so I say thank you very much. I will continue in my journey of being an artist, of being an art educator, to help the next generation along, and to encourage our emerging artists to appreciate their own perspectives. Thank you.
So I'd like to invite this most worthy man to say a few words.
What do I say after that? When you're recorded, you don't always remember what you said, and so it felt very brand new to me. It's strange standing here. I'm usually, for most of, I guess, my involvement in the art world, I've been on the other side, not the receiving side. So I want to say again, thank you to the Arts Council. I enjoyed my time even serving on that council, and by extension, the Department of Culture. I love the relationship we have. Even earlier when Aisha was here, there was mention of her representing Bermuda and other places. It was a joy for me to even represent Bermuda in both sides of the Atlantic. There are many people in this room who share this local art world, and I'm glad for the roles that we've played together and the times that we've enjoyed. What do I do next? I've received this award, and thank you very much for it, but you're not going to stop me from working. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I look forward to the future and beyond this point, and I just want to say that as I speak, as I communicate with my students, one of my mantras, or one of the things I say quite often, is how I govern my life, is to run well the road that is set before you. So, and perhaps the main difference between me and my students is that I'm older than them. I've started the race, I've started the journey, I've started the walk before them. And so as such, in addition to sharing perhaps my point of view, and as an educator, talking about composition and aesthetics, I can point out highlights and challenges, speed bumps, joys, and I love doing that. And I want to say too that in addition to enjoying the art world and being a part of it, even with my students, although I am the teacher, learning from them. So I've felt very blessed to be in a position where I'm with everybody, the whole art world. So Art Council, thank you very much again for this award.
Photo?
I just want to add a side note about Dr. Smith. He was on the council when I applied to my first Bermuda Arts Council grant, which allowed me to study at Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore. So this is a complete full circle moment. Thank you.
We're also deeply honored and excited about our next award, which is the Founder Award. We will see the video indeed, but this award is for Dwayne Paynter. The Founder Award is presented to persons who are or were pioneers in their respective art form, and thus have been mentors, role models for their fellow artists and the generations to follow. We'll see the video.
Since the mid-1980s, Dwayne Paynter's name has been Bermuda's answer to Calvin Klein's or Valentino's, since it has been synonymous with high fashion and couture. He has won local and international fashion design competitions and participated in countless fashion shows, events, and entertainments, such as the Mario Dismont's Fashion Experience and Olive Trot Productions' Fashion Musical Extravaganza. He created gowns for the Follies and for contestants competing in Miss World, for example, and the Bermuda Magic shows. In 2016, he was the featured designer and declared Bermuda's King of Style at the International Collections, organized by the Gino Group. Fortunately for Bermuda, given its tiny size, geographical position, and limited resources, he has built up an extremely successful fashion business. Clients requiring unique outfits haven't been forced into going abroad. Instead, they have gone to him, confident he will not only create exquisite, exclusive designs, but also construct garments of the highest quality, finding suitable fabrics through his business travels. Both fashion artist and designer, he has been constantly in demand here and overseas. However, all the while, he has made time to help students at the co-ed correctional facility by teaching them basic sewing classes. And yet, had it not been for opportune timing, he might never have been a fashion designer at all. When he graduated from Northland Secondary School in 1980, he applied to the Bermuda College to become an electrician. However, just as he was ready to begin the electrician's course, the college in 1981 offered a new certificate program in fashion and clothing construction, which immediately attracted him. Enrolling, he came under the instruction of Mrs. Claire Woods, who he says constantly encouraged him and who today remembers him as the best student she ever had. As he explains, sewing was not new to him, it was in his genes. Both his grandmothers sewed, his maternal grandmother, Dorothy Goder, actually making her own undergarments and hats. From the age of 7, he would observe his mother, Julie Paynter, sewing on her Singer machine, intrigued by the many outfits and gowns she created to wear while working as a social hostess at the Bermudiana Hotel. When he was 15, she decided he was old enough to learn, so she taught him how to sew and to use the machine. His father, Millard Percy Paynter, also supported his interest, saying he should pursue a career he was passionate about. His family support was perhaps unusually enlightened, since during his youth sewing classes in school were offered only to girls. At the Bermuda College, his 3 fellow students were all women, which he says at first was a challenge. But, he smiles, I was strong-minded. I come from a strong-minded family.
My mom was probably one of my greatest influences simply because she would do a lot of sewing for my family members, all the sisters, and us, of course, the children. So sometimes I would help her cut. Sometimes she would show me how to read patterns, and then obviously how to sew eventually.
By this time, unlike the girls who were interested in making clothes for themselves, he began to see design as a career. Already, he was watching the CNN weekly Style with Elsa Clench program, introducing him to his favorite designers, Dior, Chanel, Valentino, Yves Saint Laurent, and Karl Lagerfeld. Graduating in 1983, he worked at the Bermudiana Hotel during the day, often being asked to help bridal parties with their dresses, and devoted himself to designing at night. Meanwhile, model and fashion show organizer, Mrs. Shea Lake Sudan, encouraged him to enter shows. In 1986, he won his first fashion designer competition, sponsored by Bermuda's Vump boutique and judged by international judges, including Rita Gersten, professor of the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. 1989 marked a major triumph when he became Coast to Coast Fashion Designer of the Year, winning their prestigious designer competition organized by the Travis Winky Productions and held at the Parsons School of Design's Exhibition Center in New York. Part of his prize was a 6-week stay in Paris, attending trade and fashion shows. Fashion shows such as the Project 100's Women 86 and Women 87 fashion shows and the International Ebony Fashion Fair allowed him to present his collection of cocktail dresses, evening gowns, and tailored suits. He began working with famous model Sheila Ming, with whom he is still friends today. Soon he was creating unique collections, such as the Phoenicia 88 collection, and working full-time for private clientele with the help of his assistant, Clifton Napier, who continues to work for him. He's also grateful to Mrs. Gloria Lawrence for her knowledgeable assistance when she was head of Gibbons Company's fabric department. He began to specialize in evening rather than day wear, his first love being wedding designs, which would prove lucrative when Bermuda was a major wedding destination. Soon, he grew so popular, prospective brides would attend weddings just to see his designs, ruffles and unusual headdresses being his trademarks. He designed Miss World's Gina Swainson's wedding gown, and when his sister Onika married, naturally he designed her ensemble as well. Today, he continues to design and create, inspiring other designers and proving he is still Bermuda's king of style.
It is indeed an honor to receive this prestigious award. Therefore, as we take this time out to reflect, it is with gratitude that I take this opportunity to thank the Bermuda Arts Council for this outstanding acknowledgement. Thank you.
Mr. Paynter, we invite you to accept your award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to speak on behalf of my dear friend and designer, Dwayne Paynter. But first, my introduction to this phenomenal designer. When I arrived back home in Bermuda from England, I was told that Dwayne Paynter was the best fashion designer on the island. He did not disappoint. I would describe to Dwayne my idea of a garment that I needed. Without a pattern, he produced what I desired, only far better than I ever imagined. I had no hesitation from then on. Whenever needing an outfit for any occasion, the only person to call in my estimation is Dwayne Paynter. He is a man of excellence, a perfectionist, which shows in his creative fashion designs. From the underside to the outside, the finished garment is the same. Fabulous perfection, fantastic craftsmanship. The most wonderful and inspiring thing of all is this: Dwayne Paynter is one of our very own, a Bermudian. And definitely a man to be proud of. I am, most definitely. And I will now read to you Dwayne Paynter's words of appreciation and gratitude. Mr. Dwayne Julian Carter Paynter accepts this award in remembrance of his late grandmother, Mrs. Dorothy Coda, in appreciating her for encouraging him with her priceless words of wisdom and knowledge. As she quoted, "The most distinguished men were tailors and masters at work in the garment industry." She spoke this over her grandson. She knew his capabilities and what he would achieve. He salutes his father, Percy Paynter, and his mother, Julie Paynter, for the wealth of support, love, and guidance. He credits and wholeheartedly thanks his lecturer, as you've heard before, Mrs. Claire Woods, for her lessons of instruction, hence bringing clarity to the subject. To his assistant of many years, Mr. Clifton Napier, a huge thank you to you for all your hard work and dedication. Much appreciation to fashion models, Bettina Trott, Cicely Smith, and Sheila Ming Burgess. Also hairstylist Cindy of Salon Voila, makeup artist Onika Trott of O Faces Makeup Artistry, and Amir X of the Gina Group. Also to the Bermuda public and his entire family and friends, many, many thanks. Respect goes out to the Bermuda Department of Correction, if you've heard before, and the Department of Culture. Finally, Dwayne would like to thank Chair Ms. Shauna Hollis and the Bermuda Arts Council for this prestigious and beautiful award. Everyone, this is Dwayne Paynter, our very own.
Thank you. Tonight, I can truly say that I've been blessed to be honored in this light. I am overwhelmed, yet humbled. For this, I thank you. I also give a very special thank you to the lovely Sheila Ming Burgess for always showing up for me. I share a quote from one of my most admired couturiers, the great Valentino. He quotes, "Only wear the clothes that make you feel alive, because elegance is the balance between proportion, emotion, and surprise." Thank you.
I now present this prestigious award to my dear friend and designer, Dwayne Paynter.
We have the privilege to share our third award of the evening, which is the Founder Award, and this for Gavin Djata Smith. We can applaud. We will enjoy the video, and then we will enjoy his presence here.
What are the arts for? It's a question Gavin Djata Smith, founder and creative director of the Chustick Foundation, has no difficulty at all in answering. As humans, we struggle to hear and see each other, he says. The arts offer the best way of learning about each other. Their true function is to reveal one's truth. His answer sums up what Chustick has achieved for Bermuda since its beginnings in 2003. At its core, it has offered a platform and opportunity for all kinds of artists to share their creative truths without fear, at times when that opportunity has not always been readily available. Participants are not constrained by genre. Poets and rappers, musicians and dancers, visual artists and actors are all welcome and supported. Neither are they constrained by their age, level of social engagement, or background. Cultural snobbery has no place in Chustick. Performances and Chustick events are often multi-generational.
I think as it was in the beginning, it kind of still is, that arts, expression, storytelling, they're still one of the best ways to bring people together. And at that time, a big part of the backdrop of what we were trying to do was to be a bridge between black and white as it's going on, it's far more class-oriented now, and I think arts, expression, storytelling is still the best way to enable the class divide to heal, and for people to really get to know each other and get cool with each other. I met so many people through the work of Acoustic, and so many people have been connected through the work of Acoustic, and that's connected to what I say is the ultimate original art, storytelling. People love to hear each other's stories and to understand and get to know each other better through them.
That said, Gavin's commitment to developing arts, cultural and community programs and events has always been of special significance to many younger members of the community. Today, many of those who grew up with Acoustic are now taking to the stage and becoming well-known both here and abroad. Bermudian star Salala Smith is one such performer. Raised in Southampton, Gavin's first interest in the arts was not musical. While studying at Port Royal, a school he remembers with much affection, he discovered his strong interest in visual art. However, from the age of 9 to 15, in his spare time, he helped his father organize local steel pan reviews in the hotels, as well as produce larger concerts. These events included Bermuda's first ever hip-hop concert, featuring the famous Busta Rhymes and Naughty by Nature. Later, R&B legend Smokey Robinson would perform in Bermuda. Gavin remembers thinking, "I've seen them on TV, and now they're in my garden." Fortunately for Bermuda, this exposure to the organizing aspect of the entertainment industry made a lasting impression on him. Continuing his interest in visual art and multimedia into his high school years, he also became interested in rapping and singing after joining the Berklee Institute and hearing his friend, Tyrone Iris, sing. Tyrone needed a place to perform, and Gavin found it for him through his friend, studio manager Jonathan Talbot. As a result, Gavin, Tyrone, and friend Roddy Nesbitt would sing at Jonathan's studio every Friday. Already, Gavin was showing a talent for making things happen. In addition, he became a rap participant in the popular Flow Sundays, held at Coconut Rock in the 1990s. Gavin's social conscience goes back to his early years. During his teens, he became involved with Pride's Youth to Youth, and by 1991 was also involved in the TV show Fast Forward Youth on ZBM. His years at Saltus Grammar School, Berkeley, and at the Bermuda College helped to give him an awareness of ills within the community needing to be healed. Deciding on a career in graphic design, Gavin went on to build his portfolio at St. Johnsbury Academy in Vermont, and to study for his BA at the Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia. While at SCAD, he acquired a guitar and wrote his very first song. Returning to Bermuda in 2003 to start his business career at the Phoenix stores, he realized Flow Sundays no longer existed, with no creative space available for neo-griot art and music. That December, he brought together a group of friends to share their artistic talents, and so Acoustic was born. The name Acoustic is a metaphor for everything that binds you together, he says, explaining that people of diverse cultures used from earliest times plant material to clean their teeth. His brilliant choice of name is one example of how he uses his graphic design skills to break down barriers within the community and to reveal a Bermuda offering more than pink shorts, pink beaches, golf, and yachts.
For us, the open mic was always about this collection, not just one dimension of either poetry or hip hop or whatever. It was always melding everything together. And lo and behold, a bunch of other guys had also picked up instruments. So we just happened to kind of really become a real nice eclectic mix.
Acoustic blossomed after becoming a leading cultural arts charity once it was registered in 2009. Over and over again, under Gavin's direction, it has achieved its mission to inspire, enlighten, and heal the community through its open mic jam sessions, community art program, retreat program, and major events such as Good Friday Kite Fest and Bermuda's Beach Fest Emancipation Celebration. Its overseas Bermuda artist tours introduced the island to the world. Founding Acoustic is, of course, a major achievement, But in Gavin's view, keeping it going is an even greater one. There have been so many tribulations, so much resistance. One challenge has been the fire, which destroyed its premises in 2016. But despite this disaster, Chustik continues to help people find their creativity. Gavin points to a recent open mic session when Salala Brock, who herself sang at Chustik as a young teenager, encouraged a shy 14-year-old girl to stand up and perform. Intergenerationality, he says, is a beautiful thing to see.
I just want to say thank you so much to the Bermuda Arts Council and the chair, Shauna Hollis. I haven't met you yet, but I'm looking forward to meeting you, as well as the rest of the team. It's a real honor to receive this award. And also want to say thank you to the Minister Ndaro for supporting this type of worthy initiative. I think it's really important to continue support of the Bermuda Arts Council. Thank you so much to Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson. I know you've been soldiering on there since the days of Flow Sunday and Nellalatu, so proud of you. Also want to thank all the, my family and my friends that have helped to put this together. Particularly want to spotlight the other co-creators of the Vibes. You know, Roddy, who's like the first person I talked to, Roddy Nesbitt, Owen Millett, of course, Najib Shantouf. These guys have been there since the beginning and helped to really make this thing happen. And Beatnik, who was there since the beginning of all the different eras, who's doing big things in England now. So thanks to him as well. And last but not least, gotta say thanks to Deidre Bean for holding it all together all these years. She's been my rock, helping me to continue with the work. So to all the brethrens, all the crew, all the family from way back then till today, this is not something for me, this is for us. And hopefully Chustik will live forever, long beyond me. Bless up.
Gavin Smith.
Come here, girl. Greetings, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm reminded of my mom would always tell me, like, smile, because when I was younger, I would be called, my nickname was Smiler, and to see myself, it's very awkward. I was like, oh man, I look a little, I'm happy. I'm happier now than I have been in a long time. So this is an honor, and so many different light bulb moments and flashpoints in just walking in her today, seeing so many different memories and so many different people that have been a big part of my journey, of the journey and the work of the Chustik Foundation. Too much to kind of all get into, but I want to big up, Dr. Tolaram, one of my early mentors at Bermuda College, and I sort of touched on it outside, but Dr. T, when I transitioned from Berkeley, graduated into Bermuda College, it was really that the English Lit class that kind of started me to really think deeper about stories and the importance of them. And she really challenged me and all of us to go deeper, and that was a real gift. And thank you for that. She also then accepted the offer to be on the Chustik board in the very beginning, and it was one of the first wins, okay, we're onto something. If Dr. Tolaram's gonna be done, we know we could do this. We lost Martha recently, and that really shook me up considerably. And it's made me think a lot about how much time we have and how much time we don't have, she was a great mentor, and she would be right here for this, because like Martha was like a big cousin, a big mentor, a big teacher. She helped to guide me with trying to figure out all these different aspects and components and try and bring it all together into what would be the Chustik Foundation. And she connected a lot of dots, and without her, I definitely wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff that we did. and she's a big miss. I want to big up Kristen White and Sarah Clifford, young legends that are doing their things, that are like, soldiering on. These are all some of the board members that helped to make Chustick really a reality. I think I saw Misha earlier coming in, big up new board chair. And I'm highlighting these people because a lot of times the spotlight goes here, but it's actually a real beacon for us all, and it allows us all to thrive. Deidre Lee Bean and the Bean team, I'd say, make some noise for Deidre Lee, everybody. Deidre, when I went to what I call the sunken place, which was after the fire, I really lost myself, honestly. And if it wasn't for Deidre Lee Bean, Chustick would have definitely become just a memory, and a lot more difficult for me to return from the healing to get back to the work. So please make a big amount of noise for Deidre Lee, everybody. They said, you guys said I only had 15 minutes, right? Okay, so I'll take up. I wanted to, you heard in the intro video about my father's influence on me, but I also wanted to spotlight my mom, because I remember being a little boy, going with my mom to then St. Brendan's, and seeing her as a head nurse, working with people that were really having a hard time and that really were struggling, and to see the compassion and empathy that she showed to these people that would easily have been dismissed and discarded, meant a lot. And I feel like it was a big fusion of seeing that level of empathy mixed with sort of what my father was doing in trying to create pathways to, to wealth, to connection, to status, to entertainment, or through entertainment. I remember sitting off with Choi and Ming this times, Diddy, and being like, Chuck, these guys are like legends. But it was that combination that really, I think, has gone deep into what Chustick is here to do, and what I've been trying to do with all of my work. So there's way too much stuff to really highlight, but stay tuned for the book. It's coming out. I haven't started the book. Maybe one day. Congratulations to the fellow recipients. I see you, Lana girl. Good to welcome home again. The last time you was at Chustick, it was like, she's like, I just want to be here. Like, nope, get in the spotlight. Yeah. Without the Department of Community and Culture, Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson, new name. Hey girl, we need you guys. I want to thank you guys for the support you've been giving us through these years, particularly through these hard times. If you don't know, the last Sunday of every month we're going down at Blue Waters. If you haven't been before, shame on you, but I forgive you. It's not just for those that want to try and participate, it's also for those that want to try and celebrate and just kind of experience. We are each other's greatest inspiration, so we need you just as much as we need others that you might think are usually there. Yeah, we're always there, but we need Ed Smith too, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Aisha, where's she too? I want a selfie. I don't get a selfie today. Yes, girl, I'm proud of you too, girl. Hey, I want to thank my lady, Tamika, bless up, and thank you for putting me together for today. And I want to thank our lovely daughters, Taj and Eden. And yeah, this has been wonderful. Thank you guys so much for the honor, the blessing. Shauna, Jasmine, thank you, everybody.
We now have the privilege of presenting a posthumous award, a lifetime award, for David D.K. Knight. We will enjoy the video, the memories, and thereafter meet his son and daughter.
Greatly loved and admired in Bermuda by many from all walks of life, Clinton David Webster Bean Knight, popularly known as David or DK, has been given posthumously the 2023 Bermuda Arts Council Lifetime Award for his dedicated service to the Salvation Army, particularly in the field of music. For decades, he was known for the unstinting commitment he gave to others in need of practical help and emotional support. In fact, for much of his life, he was a member of the Army's League of Mercy, now known as Community Care. But he was also an immensely talented musician who dedicated his skills to the Salvation Army, understanding that ever since its foundation in 1865, excellent music performance and instruction have been an integral part of its mission. Music and religion were intertwined for him, with music being part of his communication with God and an expression of his faith. So recognized within the community were his musical skills as pianist, organist, composer, music instructor, bandsman, singer, choir leader, and bandmaster. It is no wonder he was often affectionately dubbed Mr. Music.
Music was so prevalent in our home. Be it dad doing music, playing music, composing music, music camp that he was, the Salvation Army music camp that he was quite involved in. But music, I would say, has always been a part of our life.
His own musical training goes back to his 10th year, when his grandmother, Alberta Brownrigg Miners, gave him piano lessons with Agatha Henderson. He must have been naturally gifted, as he quickly achieved the Royal School of Music's Grade 8, unusual for the 1930s when not many achieved formal musical qualifications. Live musical bands and orchestras being very much part of the 1930s and 40s, at the age of 14, he joined the Happy Smith Dance Band as their pianist, all set for a promising career. But at the same time, he was also a member of the Boy Scout movement, eventually becoming Scout leader, whose activities were held at the Salvation Army Hamilton Citadel, then on Court Street. After the Scout meetings, he would stay behind to observe and to join in the Army's Young People's Band practice.
People would also say when they were coming into the airport, when they would ask, where are you staying? And they were, my friend's house, or what have you, or who's your friend? Oh, David Knight's daughter, David Knight's son. Oh, he was my Sunday school teacher, and big grins on their face. Or he was my Cub Scout teacher. He truly, I would say, made a better person of people that he came across because of who he was as a person.
Age 18, he accepted Jesus Christ as his Savior and left the band, becoming a Salvation Army Corps cadet. Although, of course, his music was far from over, particularly as he became a mentee of bandmaster Ernest Bean. Employed from an early age, first at the Bermuda Mineral Water Company and then at Pierman Watlington as a car salesman, he devoted his spare time to volunteering within the Army as well as for the Scouts. After meeting Mary and Jean Lodge from Newfoundland, they subsequently married at Hamilton Citadel in 1954 and went on to have 2 children, David Wayne and Susan Jane. As well as being a gifted pianist and organist, in demand as a soloist and accompanist, David played cornet, alto horn, and percussion in the band. His conducting skills provided opportunities both locally and overseas. He became bandmaster of the St. George's Corps and was involved in several events around the island. He led the band on a tour of Newfoundland in 1974 and in the early 90s was invited on 2 occasions to be the guest vocal conductor at Twin Ponds Camp near Gander, again in Newfoundland. In addition, he devoted countless hours to giving instruction and musical leadership to the youth, some of whom would gain musical prominence in Bermuda and overseas. He started the Pew Moso Music Club in 1955, being the band leader for both young people and adults, while also helping to establish the Salvation Army's Bermuda Music Camp. Not all excellent performers compose, but DK was prolific. He composed the music for the Central School Song, while other notable pieces include the Christmas Cantata, No Christ, No Christmas, the Marches, Bermuda Centennial, and Trinidad 100, written to celebrate 100 years of the Salvation Army in those respective countries. A piece he wrote for the St. George's Corps, If We Walk in the Light, was apparently their favorite. He has received numerous awards, including in 1997, the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor for his musical contributions and the Rotary International Paul Harris Fellowship. Significantly, during his lifetime, he received several firsts, including the following. In 1982, he was the first Bermudian to have a musical composition, If You Would Be My Disciple, published by the Salvation Army in the Canadian Centennial Music Salvationist. This composition has been sung all over the world. He was the first to receive, from the Salvation Army's Canada and Bermuda Territory, the Certificate in Recognition of Exceptional Service, which normally was issued in the international headquarters in London. And tonight, he is the first member of the Salvation Army ever to receive a Bermuda Arts Council Award. He could not have seen the future when he resigned from the Happy Smith Dance Band all those years ago. But he knew he had conviction. "You are a fool," the leader told him. "Then I'll be a fool for Christ," he replied.
On behalf of my sister Susan and the rest of the Knight family, we certainly would like to thank everybody involved for this recognition. The Bermuda Arts Council in general, and we commend them for the work that they have done over the years. We'd also like to acknowledge Minister Owen Darrell, who has the general oversight for this initiative, Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson from the Department of Culture, Ms. Shauna Hollis, who's the chair of the council. And we'd also like to thank Liz Jones, who has worked with us quite extensively on putting this recognition together. And thank you to all others who are involved in this. We certainly do appreciate it. And we just look at it as another fitting component of the tribute provided to my dad, our father, I should say. Thank you very much.
We invite to the stage, please, DK's son, Wayne Knight, and his daughter, Susan Bower.
Good evening, all. And certainly on behalf of my sister Susan, my wife Elizabeth, we'd like to thank you for being here and certainly express our thanks to the Bermuda Arts Council. We'd also like to acknowledge those family members and Salvation Army colleagues that have joined us tonight. You know, as one of them boys growing up down in Deepdale, I had no idea at that time of what it really meant to be David Knight's son. And it wasn't until the 40th anniversary of the theater boycott that the picture started to come together. Because it was at that time that I realized that he and our mother were actually married in a segregated society. But on the one-way Deepdale, I think my mother might have been the only white person. But you know what? We were all one family. And DK was very much an important part of that. And I mention her because they were a team. You never had one without the other. So she is as much deserving of recognition in our eyes tonight as he is. I believe it was 1987, I think it was when DK received the certificate and badge of honor, which you saw displayed on the screen earlier. And during his interview with the Royal Gazette, I remember, I don't know his exact words, but he just did express like his surprise at being acknowledged, like, what did I do to deserve this? He was never in it for himself. General William Booth, who along with his wife are recognized as the founders of the Salvation Army, and I stand to be corrected, but I believe it was in his last public words to the Salvation Army family. He was asked to say something, and he said simply the one word, others. And when I thought of that, I thought I could use that same word to apply to my dad, because everything that he did was always for others. And that was certainly true of his music. He wrote his music for a particular event, or whether it be a Salvation Army gathering, a wedding, it was always for others. He never did it for himself. And that was so fitting. And to this day, we have no idea of how much music he actually wrote. To say that he was prolific would be an understatement. And although he passed in 2016, as late as 2022, I was still finding music that he had written, finding this music for the very first time. And so as Susan and I have been going through, we just continue to be amazed. And we still have some of his papers to go through, so it wouldn't surprise me if we still find music that he has written. And he would write on anything. He would write on a piece of paper towel. He would tear off the top of a cardboard cereal box and write on that. In a restaurant, he would have, you know, the check for the meal. He would take that and write on the back of it. Whatever he could find, he would write, because stuff was always coming to him. So I could go on, but I certainly want to say again, what an honor it is to be known as David Knight's son. And so we again express our thanks to the council and all those involved for this recognition. And let me just close by saying, you know, over the years, as you know, I would introduce myself to somebody, and they would hear the last name Knight, and I could not tell you how many people would say to me, "You David Knight's boy?" And that just immediately opened the door, you know, no matter what. So I am very honored tonight to be known as David Knight's boy, and I can say for my sister, we are honored to be his children, and we again express our thanks to everyone involved for this recognition. The number of people that have been impacted by his life are countless, whether they are students that he had in music camp over the years, those who have been part of either a band that he conducted, or a songster brigade, or as we call it in the Salvation Army, a choir that he conducted, or music that he has written over the years. We cannot begin to estimate the number of lives that he has impacted. But you know, if he were to be here tonight, he would say, you know, it's not about me, and he would certainly want to give all of the thanks to God, his Heavenly Father. And it is on his behalf tonight that we say thank you very much.
We are delighted this evening to award a distinguished award for the patron of the arts, known as the Patron Award, which is presented to persons who have been benefactors to the Bermuda arts community. This award signifies the appreciation of the Bermudian community. For 2023, this award is given to Dame Jennifer Smith, DBE. We will all enjoy the video together, and thereafter, the award will be accepted by Terlena Murphy for Dame Jennifer.
Of course, Dame Jennifer Smith has long been recognized for her achievements in politics. She has gone down in history as the first Progressive Labour Party premier, the first woman to lead a political party to an election victory, the first female senator, and the first female deputy speaker. What may not be so widely known is that she has always had a love of the arts, which during her career has been manifested through her support for many arts-related organizations, including the National Dance Foundation Bermuda, the Bermuda Heritage Association, the Bermuda National Gallery, and perhaps most significantly, the Masterworks Museum of Bermuda Art, which she supported from its beginnings. Going back to her school days, literature, music, dance, and visual art were always hugely important to her. An alumni of the Berkeley Institute, She sang in the school choir and is remembered by many fellow students for being an avid reader. She always had her nose in a book, one fellow student recalls. While at high school, she was also a member of the Jackson School of the Performing Arts, then the Louise C. Jackson School of Dance. Barclay would benefit from this, as she would go on to choreograph the cotillion for the Barclay Graduation Ball from the time of its inception in 1974 until 1979. But during the 1960s, a pivotal era of struggle against segregation and racial inequality, she saw dance as an expression of freedom. In Nellie Musson's Mind the Onion Seed, Dame Jennifer is quoted as saying, "The human being does not like to be imprisoned. He thrives best in open space." And so she founded the Liberation Dance Group for youth of all ages, teaching them all kinds of dance: African, calypso, interpretive, modern, and street dancing. The Liberation Dance Group merged with other groups to form the Studio Foundation for the Arts. Her interest in art also was nurtured at Berkeley, where she came to the attention of renowned Bermudian artist and teacher Charles Lloyd Tucker, whom she admired immensely. Perhaps it was through his encouragement she went on to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, earning an associate degree in art in 1970. 33 years later, she would receive an honorary degree from the same institution in recognition of her service to Bermuda and its people. Returning to Bermuda, she continued her interest in art by creating her own works, mostly in watercolors and charcoal, and by teaching it in the prisons. In addition to being a writer and editor for the Bermuda Recorder, she was also a writer for Fame magazine, revived in the 1970s when she frequently was responsible for its cover design. But her passion for art continued into her political career, as Tom Butterfield, founder of Masterworks, well remembers since they first met when she was Shadow Minister for Education. Her overriding interest in education immediately struck him, as did their shared conviction Bermuda art should be housed and available to the public on island.
I've always enjoyed our conversations together because we varied it up. They were meaningful. They were never sort of taken so lightly that it was just frivolous fill-in conversation. It was always something much more substantive in that. And so that when we started the idea of Masterworks and education, which is one of Jennifer's real hot topics, we committed ourselves to make sure that our museum was going to follow her light in terms of having education be first and foremost in what it is that we were trying to do.
He vividly recalls how she volunteered on the Masterworks membership committee.
When the house was not sitting, Jennifer was always present, sitting in our gallery, volunteering her time. When we would have membership committee meetings, she would try and make it. But once she became premier, she had to relinquish her roles.
But most important of all, he says, it was Dame Jennifer who, after she became premier, designated for us the arrowroot factory.
The arrowroot factory was designated for the wrecking ball when she became premier. She had been volunteering for us at that point already for 10 years. So she saw the growth, she saw the potential, both the physical, the growth of the physical presence of the collection. She saw the growth of membership. She saw the growth of activity. So she realized that we were a growing entity.
The museum's Dame Jennifer Smith Legacy Courtyard, named in her honor in 2021, reminds us that without her backing, Masterworks as we know it today in the Botanical Gardens would not have been possible. But her support did not end with the museum's permanent location.
Jennifer was a great ambassador. She got her friends involved. She would ask to have occasional social a gathering around here. And in one case, because many people don't know this as well, she was an artist, or is an artist. And so we did a little show for her in what is now a cafe. We did a show for her to, again, get some activity around the future of what the museum would ultimately become. And so that it was a slow installing in people's mind that the physical presence of the building was going to change.
Of course, Masterworks has been dear to her heart because she is an artist herself. Indeed, she had her own show there, and one of her works, Watching the Game, is in their collection. Tom also sees her favorite artists, Robert Barrett, Chesley Trott, Otto Trott, Charles Lloyd Tucker, and Sharon Wilson, as an indication of her character.
Jennifer was all about fairness. She was all about equality. She was all about making people aware of the world around them in a non-binding sense to one affiliation or another, just to the affiliation of essentially of oneself, that you could better yourself by an education.
On behalf of Dame Jennifer and her family, I would like to thank the Bermuda Arts Council, the Minister of Youth, Culture, and Sports, Mr. Owen Darrell, and Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson, the Director of Culture. I want to say thank you very much for honoring Dame Jennifer for this award.
We invite Terlena Murphy to accept the award and to offer her comments.
Good evening, everyone. I think I already said everything, and I just want to say on behalf of my aunt, Dame Jennifer, her family, my brother who's here tonight, her friends who are in the audience. My aunt, she is a visionary. And yes, she served our country and our community, but at her core, she is an artist. She was a writer, painter, dancer, choreographer, and music. She loved music. As a family, we, on her behalf, thank you so much for this award. I'm sure she appreciates it. Thank you.
Even a shift in genre, specifically looking at film, the Earl Cameron Award in honor of Bermuda's distinguished son, Earlston J. Cameron, CBE, recognizes expertise and vision. Introduced in 2019, this occasional award will be presented to a Bermudian professional in early or mid-career who has demonstrated exceptional passion, commitment, and talent in the field of theater, cinematography, film, or video production. This expertise will be evidenced through the body of work of this individual in one or several areas, including writing, directing, acting, and technical production. There is further introduction to our awardee this evening, which we can see is Lana Young. Let's applaud. Most recently, starring as Ethel in the film A Jazzman's Blues, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, NCIS, New Orleans, Dynasty, and WandaVision, as well as A Jazzman's Blues, her film credits beginning in 2010 include Beginners, Southpaw, The Girl on the Train, Monsters and Men, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, Like a Boss, and most recently, Your Monster, in which she plays the role of Ellen Michelson. She is also an accomplished voiceover artist, showing a large range of abilities. Her voice has been described on the website Bermudians.com as ranging from warm, helpful, reassuring, and sophisticated, to sexy, enthusiastic, and bubbly. Indeed, her versatility has led her to be nicknamed The Voice. Receiving the Earl Cameron Award tonight, Lana Young is a living testimony that dreams really can come true.
The Earl Cameron Award is presented to Lana Young, a Bermudian fulfilling her dream of being an actor in the big leagues. Already, she has an impressive number of film, television, and theatrical credits under her belt. And yet, although she may have dreamt of being an actress, as a young woman, she did not think pursuing acting was a viable option. Born and brought up in Bermuda, she pursued a career in finance. Acting was a hobby, and in her spare time, she took on roles with Jabulani Repertory under the leadership of Dusty Hind and Patricia Nesbitt. Moving to Boston in 1998, at the age of 28, she joined an amateur theater company that became her conduit into professional theater, and which led her to booking her first television role in the film Killer Flood in 2002. Now officially changing her career, Lana knew that to be competitive, she would need to up her game with some tools and techniques. She auditioned for the Arts Educational School London, where she was one of just 20 students out of thousands from all over the world to be accepted. Gaining a master's in acting, she moved to Los Angeles in 2005. After booking her first TV show, Zoe 101, and her first feature film, Beginners, over the span of 4 years, the racial and gender stereotyping and ageism in the industry proved to be too challenging. She accepted that it wasn't her time yet and decided to regroup and reassess, but never let go of the dream. She moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, and started an acting school and taught for 5 years. In 2014, she gave it another go and booked 2 TV shows and a film all within 3 months of signing with her new agent. The industry was becoming more inclusive, and it was finally her time. On the advice of director Antoine Fuqua, who directed her in Southpaw, Lana moved to New York City, where her acting career started to grow. Since then, she has appeared in over 40 guest starring television roles, such as Zoe 101, The Vampire Diaries, Devious Maids, Nashville, Jessica Jones, Kevin Can Wait, Law & Order Special Victims Unit, NCIS New Orleans, Dynasty, and Marvel's WandaVision. Her film credits include Beginners, Southpaw, The Girl on the Train, Monsters and Men, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, Like a Boss, and most recently, Your Monster. 2022's A Jazzman's Blues, directed by Tyler Perry, was nominated for 4 NAACP awards, including Outstanding Motion Picture, and secured Lana a nomination in the category of Outstanding Ensemble Cast in a Motion Picture. Lana truly enjoys paying it forward through mentorship, while she continues to fulfill her dream. Her story continues.
When I received the email that I was being awarded the Earl Cameron Award, I was excited and thrilled beyond belief. Mr. Earl Cameron was a pioneer, not just for our tiny island, but globally. And he paved the way for Bermudian creatives to go beyond the island and succeed. So I'm very grateful and inspired by his story. I also want to say thank you so much to Shauna Hollis for all the work she's doing at the Bermuda Arts Council. She is terrific. Janet for being instrumental in our communications back and forth. Jasmine and Dr. Tolleram, thank you very much for all that you do. Also want to say thank you to Senator Owen Darrell, and a shout out to Dr. Kim Dismont Robinson at the Department of Culture. Shedding light on our culture and making it known what our culture was that had been hidden for so long is very important, and I appreciate all your work in that area. I am going to take this experience and let it lift me up and carry me through the rest of the journey. It's a tough business I'm in, and this is just a reminder that I am on the right path. So thank you very much for the acknowledgement and the recognition.
Lana Young, The Voice.
Should I use my sexy voice? Or my bubbly voice? Hi, guys. Wow, this is really surreal. I think every actor dreams of this moment in their career, but the real thing is even better. Aisha, Where are you? Can you come up and write me a little speech in rhyme? And Dwayne, can we talk about my next red carpet outfit? All right, good. I wrote a speech and I ripped it up and I wrote it again and I ripped it up and I realized, who are you kidding, Lana? You're not a script writer, you're not a speech writer, you're not a speaker, you're an actor. I'm used to people writing my words for me, so I'm just going to speak from the heart. And first of all, good evening, everyone. Honored and esteemed guests. Hello. First of all, this is a dream to win Mr. Earl Cameron's award, because he really did pave the way for me. He was such an inspiration, not just for our little island, but globally, and for him, I will forever be grateful. When I was trying to think about what to say, what kept coming back to me was how lucky I feel to be Bermudian. How lucky, you can clap. How lucky it is to be born in Bermuda. Out of all the places in the whole entire world, I was plopped on a 21 square mile rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Can't get much luckier than that. I also feel very lucky to be a career actor, because it's something that I had always dreamed of and I had no idea how it was going to happen. But I used to sit at the edge of the rocks, looking out at the Atlantic Ocean, my imagination going crazy, and just picturing myself giving an award speech or being on TV or film. When I was 3, I was in my first play. I think it was Puss in Boots at Nambour Nurseries. And oh yes, that explains a lot. And I was hooked. And then I watched my first film at Rosebank. I think it was Orca. And I thought, I want to be up there. But again, I had no idea how it was ever going to happen. I just kept dreaming about it. I would jump on a stage when anybody would have me. I did it all through school, did it all through university, came back, got a corporate job like you have to in Bermuda. And then I just was not happy, so I found a home in Jabulani Repertory Company at the Hamilton Princess. Dusty Hind and Patricia Pogson, now Nesbitt. And I used to leave my job and run over there and just dive into my happy place. And finally, the universe paid attention and started dropping little universal breadcrumbs in my path, because at 28, I met an American who wanted to marry me and take me to America. So I said yes, and I arrived there and I got right back into the corporate world. But the pull of the stage was too strong for me, so I hopped out of my comfort zone and I tried out for an audition for a couple of local plays, and I kept getting chosen, I was like, okay. But the turning point for me was when I auditioned for my first on-camera role in a TV film called Killer Flood, The Day the Dam Broke. That was the full name. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I went into that room I feel like Bermudians have this courage that we take wherever we go in the world. And I walked into that room and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do this. And I booked the role. And that's when I said, Lana, what are you waiting for? This is what you're meant to be doing. It gave me the courage to recognize that I was a contender and that I should pursue this happy place. And so I auditioned for an acting school in London. I got accepted, and I was 15 years older than every single person in that class. I went at 33 years old, and I was like, teach me. I'm ready. I've been ready for this my whole life. That was a big changing point in my whole life, and it was one of the best years of my entire life. Fast forward to moving to LA, like a Bermudian, here I am, I'm ready. And it was crickets. They were like, who are you? And at that time, we were fighting we still are, a lot of racial and gender stereotypes, ageism. At 33, I was already too old. And the casting was very Caucasian, so I wasn't white enough, I wasn't black enough, mixed race. So I booked a few things. Zoe 101 was my first TV job for any of you. Okay, I knew there's always one. That was my first TV job. And then Beginners with Christopher Plummer and Ian McGregor. We know that Christopher Plummer used to come and do theater here at the Bermudiana Hotel. But it wasn't my time, and I wasn't happy. And as we all know, I think in this room, life is rarely a straight line. It's full of detours, twists and turns, and I've learned to just accept them as part of the journey and kind of observe the lesson in the unfolding of it all. So I took a break, moved to Charlottesville, started an acting school, had a fabulous 5 years teaching other people, and then 2014 rolls around, almost 10 years later, 10 years older, and it was my time. Started booking work, Vampire Diaries, Devious Maids, the movie Southpaw. And luckily, Antoine Fuqua, who's my director in Southpaw, said to me, Lana, you should be in New York. You would do very well in New York. So we wrapped that film August 2014. I rented my house and I moved to New York the next month. And I've been there ever since. So I just say all of that to say that I feel that being Bermudian has really grounded me in a very ungrounded business. It's given me love and support. I mean, who gets to say they have a whole country behind them, really? I mean, how lucky is that? But I'm just very grateful for the recognition from the BAC, because my business is all about scrapping for a part. You know, see me, pick me out of thousands of people. Every time I audition, I'm auditioning against thousands of people. So to be recognized without asking for it is meaningful beyond words. So I really, really appreciate it very much. Thank you. So I just want to say a thank you a heartfelt thank you to the Bermuda Arts Council and their dedicated support to Bermudian creatives. You are making dreams come true all the time, so thank you for that. A big shout out to the Department of Culture, Dr. Kim, for spearheading events that shed a crucial light on the importance of knowing and embracing our culture, which we know was hidden for far too long. So thank you for that. And to all of my supporters, my ride or dies, my dad Stan Young and Jean, God's sister, friends, my mummy, especially my mummy, Margaret Young, who without her I couldn't have gotten this far. I am full of limitless gratitude for your endless love and support, so thank you. Now, I just want to say finally, in the spirit of this generous award and recognition from the BAC, I am officially announcing a launch of a pilot mentorship program that I would love to pay forward to Bermudians. Anyone over the age of 10, meaning adults too, career-focused actors, or even just amateur actors on the island, I would love to offer myself to you for 1 year. The details will be available in the Royal Gazette next week in the lifestyle section, so check it out in case you're curious. I just always believe in paying it forward. I feel that Bermudians do that wherever we go. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great night. And I just wanted to pass on my thoughts and prayers to your aunt. I'm sorry to hear that news. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
So Djata has unceremoniously said that we were supposed to say a few words. So here are my few words. Thank you all for being here. It's no small feat to get a crowd to show up to many things in Bermuda, and to show up for the arts is really something tremendous. So a small applause for yourselves for making the time to be here and to support our community. I would just like to, again, get you to applaud all of our awardees this evening for all of their work. And I'll invite our chair, Shanna Hollis, back to close this out. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sajni Talaram and Jasmine Lee, for presenting these awards. To Dr. Edwin Smith, Dwayne Paynter, Gavin Smith, Lana Young, and the family of DK Knight and Dame Jennifer Smith, DBE, congratulations. Your continued contributions to the community are valued. Next, I would like to welcome Joy T. Barnum to perform. Joy T. Barnum is a talented singer and songwriter who graduated from Bermuda Institute and earned a Bachelor's of Music in Vocal Performance from Oakwood College with Ginger Beasley as her mentor. She has performed with notable musicians, including Kathleen Battle, and has opened for artists like Yolanda Adams and Patti LaBelle. Joy has participated in various musical events and festivals, including Bermuda School of Music's annual Guitar Festival and the Heather Nova and Friends Music Festival, which was sponsored by Green Rock. In 2006, she won Best Female Vocalist category at the Underground Music Awards. Joy is also a skilled poet and songwriter, and her work has been published in Bermuda's first anthology of poetry. She is passionate about humanitarian causes and has contributed to fundraising efforts for Haiti and Chile relief and other campaigns. In 2010, Joy joined other Bermudan performers on a tour in New York City, facilitated by True Stick Foundation. She also went on a European tour with Heather Nova and released her album, Live at La Café de la Danse, in 2011, which was recorded in Paris. May you please all give a warm welcome to Miss Barnum.
Well, like David and Goliath, Bermudians, and we'll never quit trying, Bermudians. We like Daniel and the lions, Bermudians. We'll always be bold, never do what we're told, cause we're coming in hot and we're bringing back gold. Reached her dreams. We're like David and Goliath, Bermudian. Now we'll never quit trying, Bermudian. Be like Daniel and the lions, Bermudian. We'll always be bold, never do what we're told, cause we're coming in hot and we'll bring them back. We're like David and Goliath, Bermudian. Now we'll never quit trying, Bermudian. Bring him back. No! Pleasure to be on the same stage as Lana, as Djata, as Mr. Anthony, who's already just left. Who am I missing? Everybody else who was just amazing. Thank you. My art teacher from elementary school, Professor Edwin Smith. I credit him with all of my line drawings and all of my stick men, because that wasn't my forte. I thank you all so much. I love you.
Let's take a moment to truly appreciate the sheer brilliance of Joy's mesmerizing voice and her heartfelt tribute to the incredible Bermudians who have acted as a beacon of light, hope, and inspiration to us all. I still vividly remember seeing Joy sing years ago and being utterly captivated by the sheer power and beauty of her voice. Thank you so much, Joy, for this performance. This year, our council aims to increase sourcing of funds that will help us to increase grants. We also intend to grow our social media and press presence, which can be followed on Facebook and Instagram at Bermuda Arts Council. This will ensure successful event participation and further showcase our awardees. We encourage the public to apply for our individual, organizational, and student grants. For more information on the council and how to apply to our grants, please visit culture.bm. Please note that we are currently accepting student grant applications via bermudascholarships.com. The application deadline will commence May 31st, 2024 for consideration. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who joined us tonight for the Bermuda Arts Council 2023-2024 ceremony. It has been an amazing evening celebrating the vibrant and diverse arts community in Bermuda and recognizing the outstanding achievements and contributions of Bermudian artists, creators, and patrons. As we come to a close, I encourage all of us to continue supporting, nurturing, and elevating the arts in Bermuda. Let us continue to give each other our flowers and push each other forward towards our creative passions and dreams. After closing, I would like to encourage all of the awardees to come backstage for a group photo. Thank you to Liz Jones, Milton of Method Media, Janari Smith, Department of Culture, Discovery Wines and Spirits, Bermuda Blueprinting, our council members, and many more for this ceremony. Lastly, new paper. Lastly, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the Salvation Army Bermuda Regional Band have joined us to offer a special musical tribute. Their presence here today is a testament to their unwavering commitment to the arts. We are privileged to have such talented musicians in our midst, and I am certain that their performance will be a highlight of this event. So please join me in expressing our gratitude to the Salvation Army Bermuda Regional Band for their outstanding contribution. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sheldon Fox II, and I'm the bandmaster for the Bermuda Regional Band. Those two selections were composed by David Knight. I arranged them for this evening. So the first one was If You Would Be My Disciple, and it was just one chorus of If You Would Be My Disciple. And the second one was the piece that was highlighted in the presentation tonight, which was If We Walk in the Light as We Are in the Light. So it was a lovely selection, and I want to thank you for honoring my mentor who started me as a musician about 30 years ago. And so it's been an honor to give a lovely tribute of his wonderful music. Thank you.
Can we have one more huge round of applause? Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you.